We're going to go here to get the field analyzer, the square button up here in the left-hand corner. Since I've recently used it, it's up here, but when you first come in, you're probably going to have to come down here on the left-hand side and pick Field Analyzer Beta to get to where you're going. We're going to work with the bottom field for these examples today. As you can see, when it pulls up, we're looking at the corn harvest map, and we've got several things that we can do here. If you look over here on the left-hand side, we have our legend. You can actually edit this legend. So you just click on the little pencil to edit, just like we did in our 101 class with the field analyzer to edit yield. So you can see here what this is set at. We can come over here and we can say restore to defaults, and we can set this wherever we want. So let's go 200, 180, 160, 140, 120, and 100. And maybe that's what we want to look at, all of our fields across the whole farm. If so, we want to save this as a template so that we can pull it up for each one of our fields when we look at them. If not, we're just going to hit save this time for this particular instance. So we've got that. One other thing over here on the legends is contour button. You can pull it all the way to the right to change the look of the map. So it changes this to that contour look that some of you might be more used to. You can do that. For this, we're going to leave it over here on 0 and look at this little blockier style. With the overview map here, you can look down here. The agronomic data is down here in the center on the bottom. Kind of gives you the information you know, most pertinent information. How many bushels, what your bushel per acre, speed, moisture, those kind of things, how much was harvested. Down here are some quick links. You can hit the field analyzer quick link, takes us to field analyzer. And if you remember last time on our 101 class, we used the pencil to post calibrate the yield. We're going to go back to field analyzer beta. When we come from here, it's going to give us that little warning that we're changing back to here. The other little quick link is down here, field view analyze button. So this is going to go to this analyze, which we also covered in our 101 session. We can click on this and get the same information that we saw down at the bottom if we want to. You know, the agronomic information, the bushels and bushels per acre and that type of thing. We're going to go back up here to the tools button, and we're going to pick the beta off of the more tools or the recent tools. And we're going to go back to the bottom field, take a look at it again. So here we go. We've got the yield map up, but now we want to come over here. And if you wanted to change fields, you do it right here where the field button is. But what we're going to do is we're going to change what we're viewing. So we want to compare a layer now, but we've got to pick a layer to compare in our second operation. So we're going to pick this application. As you can see, this application had different rates within it. So what will we use this for? So let's take a little example. We'll come up here, hit this arrow, and it gives us some drawing tools. So let's pick this one to start with. We're going to come in here. This gives us the ability to draw not a square square polygon. So, but if I wanted to move this and change it to a different spot, I have to do it point by point, as you can see. So let's clear that, and we're going to come over here to this square drawing tool. We're going to come over here and we're going to say, let's just pick out a small area and see how we did on yield with this rate of the application. So we come over here and we look down here at our agronomic data. We got about 1.6 acres and it yielded 173 bushel. Well, let's pull this over to the higher rate, and in this particular case, because we use that square drawing tool, we can come over here and we can just grab one point and move the whole box over and see how we did. If we picked about the same amount of acres, we got 1.6 acres and made 164.8. And since I have such a bad memory, I forgot what the other one made already. I'm going to hit this little back button and see what come back to here. So yeah, we're at 173. So in this particular spot in the field, it looks like a little bit more of the fertilizer application didn't really help us out any. So we're going to clear this, and we're going to go to our third option over here, which is the overlay option. So now if you look over here on our legend, this opacity slider is at about 50% so that we can see both layers. We can see through the fertilizer layer to the yield layer. If we take it all the way down to 0, we see only the yield layer. If we take it all the way to 100, we see only the fertilizer application. We're taking it back to 50, and we're going to grab this drawing tool again and kind of repeat the same thing we just did before. We can take this, we can draw it, we can look down here and see what we did. About 1.6 acres. We were a little bit higher up than we drew the box last time, so we're at 166.8. Same deal. We can flip it over here and take a look and see what we did. We're at 162.8 on there, a few less acres. But that's how this works with the different looks. So we're going to go back to the overview now. We've kind of looked at some of these things. We're going to go up here and look at one last thing. We've got the Agrarian Prescription Creator. You can go here to get that. It takes a little while to open, so we're not going to go there today. One other quick little thing, you can change from map to satellite. So map is just basically the roads with whatever your operation is here. I like looking at the satellite imagery because with the opacity, I can turn this down and look behind the yield map and see if I can see anything that might be driving yield from the satellite view. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go up here to the export button and hit the export button. And whatever's down here is what's going to show up on this. So let's switch this right here and hit the export button again, and because we want to be able to take a look at this. So as I'm opening that, we're going to talk about down here. You can see the information down at the bottom there that gives us the different gallons per acre that we had and across the field, and then what it yielded as we went across the field. So right now we're over here on our PDF. You can see that we've got this gallon per acre that we just talked about at the bottom of the map. We've got the map. We've got the legend over here with how it yielded and the percentage of the field that's in that. This is the other map, so it's got that agronomic data at the top that we talked about. If the varieties were loaded in at planting time, they'll show up down here, or in case of the corn, it'd be the hybrid.